Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So I'm on the road once again and using the potato PC, so no VTuber model for today since it can't handle it. But anyways, let's get back into the slop content. We're once again talking about Hasan Piker. Wow, what a surprise. Well, yesterday we gave a set of news involving Hasan Piker. He was banned on Twitch for the 6th time, and a lot of people were talking about what's going to happen next over the following 24 hours. Will he be unbanned? Will he not be unbanned? We'll just have to wait and see. Well, we found out the reason, at least, up until yesterday's video, where he was banned for covering the terrorist manifesto provided by the shooter that took the lives of 2 members of the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C. Twitch actually said the reason was because he was criticizing it, which is not too surprising because according to the rules, you can't talk about this stuff whatsoever, whether it's covering it positively or criticizing it, what have you, it doesn't matter. But the irony here, of course, is that despite all of these years of glorifying terrorist propaganda, platforming terrorists, all this stuff, he finally gets banned for criticizing the manifesto. But then again, when you actually look at the stream, he says some things that are seemingly positive about this shooter's intentions, as well as spreading potential, basically conspiracy theories about the situation while saying, well, it's actually not real, guys. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
But like I'm not Mr. False Flag at all, but like every single thing that he did in the aftermath of the shooting is so fucking crazy that it's like, you could not have fucking designed a incident like this. You could not have designed a better false flag incident like this. I'm not saying it is a false flag incident at all. I'm not saying that. I think this is just a one dude who is genuine in his actions and maybe, you know, a little bit brain broken. Okay.
So the angle here he's playing in the aftermath in the 24 hours since yesterday has been very obvious. He's trying to spin this through many different tweets as his silencing, that he's being deplatformed for his brave coverage of everything going on between Israel and Palestine, sharing stuff like this, saying that he will not be silenced, and even if he is deplatformed, he's done his part to help change the narrative and yada yada yada. He even went so far as to call everyone talking about the situation blue check power farmers and Israeli dick riders, when this user simply said a factual sentence saying he's been banned on Twitch. Apparently saying a factual statement about this situation is somehow a statement on the conflict. Very interesting stuff. Nothing can happen without it being framed in some sort of political light. But of course, this is the reason we're here today. In a very unsurprising twist, Hasan has been unbanned after 1 day, 6 minutes, and 20 seconds. And let me make this very clear. Whoever was in charge of making this unbanning is definitely going to be fired for the extra 6 minutes and 20 seconds Hasan had to wait to get back into his account. But in all seriousness, this is not surprising whatsoever. And to pull back the magician's curtain here, yesterday when I talked about this, I said he was only banned for 24 hours. That was not confirmed, but I was so confident that was going to be the case, I said it anyways. And guess what? Me and everyone else who predicted it were right once again. He gets a 24-hour slap on the wrist, likely on a day off, where he's going to be welcomed back with open arms from all of his fans, like he's some hero because he spent 24 hours in Twitch jail. And of course, who's responsible for this? Well, of course, we know Dan Clancy. Hasan is his golden boy. He's done many ridiculous things to over and over again show his favoritism towards Hasan. Yes, this is a real clip, by the way.
Happy birthday to you.
What the fuck?
Happy birthday to you.
Bro, we're never beating the Hasan runs Twitch allegations after this. This is crazy. Oh my God. Like the most rabid Redditors just clip this and they're going to be like, the most rabid Redditors just clip this and they're going to use this permanently to be like, see, I told you, he's got banning powers.
Happy birthday, dear Hasan.
This is crazy.
Happy birthday to you.
So seeing clips like that, it is not surprising that despite 6 bans on Twitch, he's never received longer than a 7-day suspension. And the most recent one is only for 24 hours. Does that really surprise you? In fact, the last 3 have all been one-day bans. I defy you to find anyone else on this platform who's had that many bans, and the last 3 have been only for 1 day a pop. The favoritism is very obvious, but then again, that doesn't shock anyone who's been watching what's been going on with his account over the past couple of years. On top of that, we see some very, believable claims from XQC here that Twitch will sometimes contact their biggest streamers and work out a ban around their schedule. That is kind of the conspiracy theory here, where people are believing that Hasan had a scheduled day off, and they said, hey, why don't you serve your suspension on that day off? It doesn't seem too outlandish given the history of Hasan and his favoritism over at Twitch, and also XQC calls out Hasan's chat for their actions during the reading of the manifesto, where they clearly were trying to show their support for the shooter.
When you're about to get banned, they send you a DM. Your partner manager will send you a DM and will contact you. Okay? And if it's like, oh dude, can we hold off until this day or whatever? Sometimes they'll listen. Okay? It wouldn't surprise me if they timed the ban so where like it would be as half day off or day off or whatever. It is what it is. That's just kind of how it goes. That's like, it's like a known thing. When I had my like week ban for like cheating or whatever, they're like, yeah, you're gonna get banned from this day. I just took it how it is, but I think there was like a conversation or whatever on yo, there's a week ban now, whatever. Or last time it was, oh, when you're gonna end your stream, you're probably gonna get banned. That's what it was. The one before that ban. It was, and I was like, okay, well then I'll stay live until fucking like 3 a.m. or some shit like that. Because I mean, also I think manifestos are cringe as fuck. The fact that Hasan had his Chinese emoji mode, yo, if I was reading this shit and I was emoji mode and the chat was saying hearts and sages, bro, I would delete my account, Loki. I'm not kidding. Bro, I would be so disappointed. I would actually just delete my fucking Twitch account and I would just find something else to do.
Yeah, as you can see, one of the biggest challenges for Hasan Piker is dealing with his own audience. He is so audience captured, he can't come out and condemn attacks like the one on the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C., because his own audience will eat him alive. And he has gone on stream after the head of the ADL tried to link his rhetoric to the attack, and he said, chat, you guys need to lock in. You need to get it together because you're going to get me in trouble. He's self-aware enough to know that his rhetoric has produced a very radical community that is just going out there and saying things that will reflect very badly on him. He's self-aware enough to know that's happening. That's why the other day, around the time of the statements made by the head of the ADL, he nuked his community Discord server, and in fact, he even locked invites. That is not the set of actions of someone who has nothing to hide. In fact, it makes him look really bad. And since then, he's gone even further. He has now reportedly deleted all of his VODs after being unbanned, which is very odd. Okay, you can see from his own page, he has nothing, no trace of anything he has ever streamed. And I wouldn't be too surprised if the same starts happening for some of the channels that are archiving his content. But the problem with Hasan is, of course, his outlandish and crazy rhetoric has already been saved everywhere. So it just makes him look very guilty. Or some people are also predicting that maybe this was the work of Twitch. Twitch wanted to delete these VODs in order to prevent more disaster heading their way from a PR perspective. Now, of course, Hasan had something to say about everything going on with this unbanning he received with this caption, "I lived, bitch." I mean, him living this situation, him getting unbanned in 24 hours is like the same as someone living after stubbing their toe. Like, everyone knows or knew this was going to happen. This is not surprising whatsoever. But a lot of people responding to this in the quotes and the replies had a much different perspective. You can see Chibi Review saying Twitch is actually doomed as a platform, which is a fair statement. They've been on decline for many years. They can't even turn a profit at this point. Their expenses are so astronomically high. They haven't figured out how to use their infrastructure in a even close to cost reductive way. They haven't found a way to do it efficiently. And with all of this negative PR, the adpocalypse currently happening on Twitch is only spiraled. It's gotten so bad that people who are making thousands of dollars of ad revenue a day through their streams are now making $10. Like, the amount of advertisers that have left this platform is actually insane. This is 10 times worse than the YouTube adpocalypse or the several that have happened over there over the years. This one is just a complete pruning. Everyone's leaving. And honestly, as an advertiser, why would you want to stick with this platform? It's volatile. And you're not going to get much bang for your buck in the first place, given how this platform performs financially, at least in terms of their net revenue. But this is an interesting one right here. This only goes to show that it's okay to support terrorism on Twitch. The funny thing about this statement is it's half true, because it's actually worse. It's worse than that, because not only do they turn a blind eye to terrorist sympathizers, they will only punish you under their related rules if you criticize terrorism. The only reason Hasan got banned this time is because he criticized aspects of the Shooters Manifesto. And they used their rule that basically says you can't talk about any of this stuff to give him this one-day ban, with obviously the hope of trying to quell some of the articles and national attention that Hasan and Twitch have been receiving, especially over the past week or so, but I doubt that's going to work. Anyone who falls for this is an idiot, but then again, journalists are idiots, so we'll see where that goes. But here's another one saying, okay, everyone, I think we should all collectively move to Kick at the same time right at this very instance. You know what, I'll say it again. The greatest promotion ever for Kick has been the existence of Twitch. Just Twitch doing what it does best and just destroying its own PR. They are pushing people over to Kick. That is it's not a very legitimate platform. They're founded largely on gambling and basically having the most outrageous streams over there where pretty much there's no rules. It's kind of the opposite of Twitch, where the rules are unevenly applied and there's a lot of favoritism. Kick is just like, yeah, anything goes. I mean, even people committing crimes are unlikely to get banned over there. But again, the best promotion for Kick is just Twitch continuing on with this BS that they're doing right now. Oh, here's another one. Whoa, posting Sam Hyde on a tweet related to Hasan. You're scaring him, bud. Slow down with that. But anyways, here's one from Sean here, who's one of the orbiters of Hasan. He's like a D-list orbiter. Like, he's probably even below Frogan at this point. He chimes in saying the rich get richer. I know this is supposed to be a joke, but that's like literally what's happening. Like, he clearly showed here that he has a lot of favoritism from the platform and that no matter what he does, he's going to snake his way through it because Dan Clancy and the Twitch moderation staff have his back. So yes, he's going to get richer from this situation. He's garnered more support from his actual fan base here and gotten more attention. Like, yes, that's exactly what's happening here because the consequences that happen to him are nothing more than a slap on the wrist and free PR. And then you see Nick in the replies saying, "My king returns." And then he replies with, "Should I post a pic of me and Asmund to piss off the other half or nah?" Dude, you're better than this. I don't know why he's resorting to this over the past couple of days, this attempted attention on Twitch for no other reason than attention. I'm sure he has better things to do with his time right now. But another thing that's happening is, well, more articles. The New York Post, just as I'm recording this video, left-wing influencer Hasan Piker gloats as he returns to Twitch after being yanked for comments about DC Jewish Museum shooting. You know what? I'm glad they called him an influencer, right? That's worse than being called a slur at this point. Influencer is like the worst thing you could be called. But anyways, yeah, that's going to do it for this video. I'm sure there'll be more on this situation in the days to come, and if there is more, I'll cover it. But for now, that'll do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.